Check, check. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for logging in on time. Appreciate it. Give it 1 or 2 more minutes. Like usual, everybody see the server message and get a chance to get settled in. Norva, I'm doing XYZ first, brother. That's the one you sent me that we can definitely go over XYZ. There's a couple things I want to show you. Bank of America, yep. Bullish. Everybody is, they're either in really heavy or they're in and they're antsy and they're impatient, one of the two. But we'll go over it. Good thing you guys got time on that one for sure. Nick, good to have you in here. Apple, yeah, Apple is at brick wall resistance to 212, I think. I don't have to look, but I think I know the area, but we'll definitely look at it for sure. Kind of give you a game plan. Are you an Apple already or just wanting to be? So I can definitely give you some pointers, or at least how I see it on how I would trade it. But LEU, that's a new one. LEU. And guys, if you can't, let me know if you're in it, like shares or options, or you're looking for an entry. Because that'll kind of tell me, hey, if you're already in it, you should be trimming here, or if you're looking for an entry, wait for a pullback of this or that. Let's see. Cool. Yeah, I'll get to KTOS if I got time, Maxwell. We'll just start with one each, just because classes go so damn fast. But I'll circle back. Crash, good having here. Celsius, right? Yep. Just writing these down as they come in. KOO earnings. Yeah, we can still look at it though. All right, guys, one more server ping. Stand by, and then we'll get going. Cool. We got 15, 16 people. It's the usual for Sunday in my classes. So we'll dive in, you guys. See a few new faces, lots of regulars. It's always good. Glad to have you guys in here. My name is StartedWith, one of the staff members here. I'm going to start out with SPY and QQQ as we always do, just to kind of get us, our sentiment, where we're at, where I think we're going, where we can go. But as I kind of wrap those up, be sure to put the names in the chat, stuff you want me to go over. I'll try to get to at least one from everybody, but obviously class goes quick. We only have a little over an hour. So, but with that, you guys, I'll definitely dive in here. What about Jerome Powell? It kind of depends what you speak about Maxwell. Because sometimes he's like, you know, not necessarily overseas, but sometimes he's overseas, but sometimes he's just speaking at different forums that may or may not make sense or matter to the markets, and they kind of just talk about it. But if anything, obviously interest rates, tariffs get brought up, the market will react. Yeah, but before open, that's interesting. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on it. All right, guys, first up, SPY. I'm on the 1 hour chart here, 1 hour chart. We can see a little bit of a gap up as of now. I left this lower zone red just for education purposes, just for now, because if we go back to, what day is it? Right around here, we were trading down here, and I remember I kind of said, hey, we got to get back over that 622 if we want to break up out of this range and leg up higher. Obviously, we pushed up, sold down back into the lower of the range, break out a new all-time high, and as of now, if this holds here, we're pushing over 628 now. So that's kind of, my swing high, low, swing, pivot zone from just Thursday and Friday. I'll zoom in on that in just a second. But as of now, this red zone is now green. It is now support. We have now closed multi-day over that. So that's kind of what I do for kind of demand zones, big zones that we come into. And also we have our daily 9 moving average. It'll be somewhere stacked around there if we kind of dip into that 624 anytime soon. So as of now, bounce the lower range, bounce the middle, and now this upper range. As of now, again, just for education, green is support, red is resistance for me, how I like to chart or try and teach it to you guys. So as of now, guys, we kind of need to treat this upper zone here as our support zone. So as long as we stay over 628, what does that mean? So it means we'll keep bouncing Tuesday's high a day, these top side wicks over here over on the left side of my screen. We push up to Thursday's session, pretty much right where we closed. Okay. And then Friday, zoom in a little bit more. I'm on the 1 hour chart here. I may need to go to a smaller time frame to see that price action, but basically we sold down into this kind of upper to middle range from Thursday. So a 1 hour sell in this candle closed down here. Next candle bought us back up. So obviously, what is this? Consolidation range zone in the making. This candle closed up here. Next hourly candle opened here, closed down here. So totally engulfed this, looked a little bearish. Thought we're going to tag that 626. I still have an alert that didn't tag there, but that's fine. And then ultimately, end of the day, push back up kind of this, low middle range here from the day. And so as of now, we're gapping over that. So how I trade, how I like to teach you guys is breakout, retest, stuff like that. So a little bit of a zoomed in look here, how we should trade this and how I would trade this and my advice for you guys. One thing, there's only a couple touches here, but I think this is probably worth noting as well, as long as that holds, as of now it did. But here's what I'm watching, guys. Get my drawings here. So kind of see where this candle is and how it's going to form overnight and tomorrow morning. So again, any bounces, you probably know where I'm going with this, any bounces and holds of that 628 to 628.10, this little pocket here, basically the top of our support zone that we have identified here. So as long as this holds here, you guys, if you don't play the open, not scalping some puts here, as long as we come into this, you should look to be playing the dip and looking for that to hold. Obviously, if 628 fails of a hold, like I say every week, we know the probable price action, what will probably happen. Does it go all the way down here? I don't know. Does it go a little ways? I don't know. Do we get price action like this? Nobody knows. But that's the game plan for me going into Monday is where do we open? Are we over 628? Are we holding 628? If the answer is yes, then we start building a game plan, before we get into calls. So we start holding this level here. Let's just say, 15-minute candles are holding here, 30-minute candles, whatever it is. Okay, let's buy the dip. Let's buy the bounce. Where do we sell at? You guys already know how I like to trade. I look for candle closes, opening and closes over and over. I look for top side and bottom side wicks. So for me, if we buy this dip here, hypothetically markets open, we smack at 628.10. Easy sell for me is this level here, basically 628.8-ish. If I were to draw a line here, Kind of those candles there is what I'm looking for as a first target. Again, if you're scalping MMA PC, can't hear anything. Make sure you don't have anything plugged in. Make sure can everybody else hear me okay? Thumbs up or let me know in the chat. Yeah, okay. So yeah, as long as you buy that dip here, again, scalps, that can vary a lot. So I got to be careful when I say, make this your first target, but let's just draw a line here and kind of see how it shakes down on a smaller time frame here. So again, I buy 2 to 3 days time. So if I'm buying tomorrow on Monday, I'm buying a Wednesday or Thursday contract. And a zoomed in look here, this is probably what it looked like a little bit closer in here. So for scalpers, you guys are trading zero DTs. What you don't want to do is buy here and go, okay, 1K said, we got to sell up here. It's like there's stuff we can find in between here. And immediately, again, if you're scalping the 629s, I'm looking here and I'm looking at this sneaky little wick there that probably can give us a little bit of fit. And I'm looking at this little cluster here from a Friday pre-market and give us a little fit. And looking at this level here, this first kind of sell down wick there as well. So if you're taking zero DTs and scalping, to me, I see 1, 2, 3, and then this is target number 4 up here is how I would trade that again on zero DT scalps. If you're buying, a month out time on SPY, maybe you don't want to trim here. Maybe you want to let it ride a little bit. But what you can do is you can buy the dip here. We push up. You already know where I'm going with this. Where's, let's just say you're up, 20, 22% up here. Where's your stop? Well, for me, bare minimum stop is above a break even. Stop loss will be right there. So as the SPY is pushing up, when it gets up to here, we'll just say 622, 3-ish. When the price is at that, I'm looking at my option contract and going, okay, I'm up 16%. So bare minimum, my stop loss is 16%. We push up to maybe target 1 or another target, push up. And we said this target was, let's just say 22%. So now we break over that. Now bare minimum, your stop loss is 22%. Because we come back to it, you're not taking any losses here. Okay. So trim all the way up, you guys. Again, it's even easier on the flip side, on the downside. If we break kind of under that, it's really 628. So you take calls here, it fails, we slice under 628. You can take a small loss depending on what position size you have, what expiration. You can sell down, retest, get in some puts, and then all we got to do is look at this price action here from Friday to find our targets. Where do we sell? We sell down definitely into this cluster here. You would draw a line or an alert, kind of sell into there. Come this bottom here, we start seeing bottom side wicks, clusters again. Any questions on SPY? Before I go on to QQQ, I know people like to trade that as well. It'll be pretty much the similar situation, almost identical charts, but different numbers, obviously. So QQQ, same thing. This, for me, drawings again. As of now, we're opening here. So any trickle-ins here, we'll see what happens. But any holds a 561.82, 56182. If you guys want to mark that down, why is that level important? Why does that matter? Why should we buy the dips there? Let's look left. A hold of that is a hold of this zone there. So we pushed up, we sold down. This is resistance. If we open over it, it is now support for us. It is also this big volume cluster here. So if it tells us we hold this, what does that say? Aggressive buyers are stepping in to hold this level here. You should buy the dip. Only short where it makes sense. Short if we break below here. Short with caution as we kind of push into this 562.7 because we see the reaction there when we don't break 562 or 562.7. We see the reaction sell down. We fail to break over. So when you take your shorts against the trend, it has to make sense. Same thing, buying the dip on the way down. You can't just buy randomly. You want to buy somewhere down here where we see all this big buyback reaction there. All those wicks on the bottom side of these candles, that is aggressive buying kicking in. Like every single candle here, almost every single candle for like 2 or 3 hours down here, big buys kicking in, meaning they're pushing this up. There's no, on the 15-minute, there's 0 15-minute candles that close below here. So you want to look to where to buy the dip, you guys. It comes down to charting. Practice with charting. You cannot skip any steps in your trading if you want to be good at this. So again, 56182 is the first plan of action for me. Any pushes up to there, I'm trimming heavy, maybe everything. Anything break over, if you miss that move, break and retest with caution, because this is probably, yeah, it's all-time highs for Q. You don't want to be the best, you don't want to be the last one buying the top on anything. So definitely something to watch there. All right, to your watch list we go. Norvin was first because he DMs me 2 hours early. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. You're the first one. Norvin, XYZ, big pump after hours. Some things to watch here, big thick lines, so we can figure out where we're at when we zoom out. Something to show you here, something to watch. So again, this is the daily. It's not going to show the after hours move. If this is only, closed session. So we are halfway, 3/4 of the way in that gap, brother. 80.45. We looked left here. After we get over that, we bounce, we slice through that. So there's an open gap here. It's going to be red, as it should be, because it's on the way up resistance. So an open gap here, and then 74.77. So back to a smaller time frame here, man. If you're not in already, look at where we stopped out. Look at where the computer algos stopped out. It's no accident, you guys. Trading is no accident. We're trading with the computers. Don't trade against them. They stopped here. So two options here, man. You can wait to buy the dip down here, man. I know it's kind of a big range, but we got that. It's a huge dip. So as in, we've been fighting, clawing all the way back up, and we took this after hours move to fill that gap. So for me, if you're not in already, it's simple. A breakout, retest, prove that it holds this volume cluster here, go for more, go for this 82.57 zone. But any sells there, it's back into this gap is my sentiment. There's not a whole lot here since I don't know how long ago that was, that gap that we were looking at that on the daily. So definitely, if that doesn't hold here, retracements are okay. I would be looking for a retracement somewhere down into here. Even better, down into here. Look what we have down here. Let me zoom out just a little bit. Consolidation, all through here, week after week, month after month. 3 moving averages stacked, and then what happens? Breakout, retest on the daily 200. I'll zoom in here in just 1 second. But we have the 9, we got the 20, we got the 200 stacked underneath us, and that 200 right at 72. Right at 72. So again, a breakout retest, perfection. If you don't have moving averages on and you see, a down candle break under support, and you dive into puts here, you got wrecked. Big bounce on the hourly 20, big bounce on the 200 daily moving average, big bounce on the previous day high, push up, and nice move in today. Yep, got to add to the S&P 500. Yep. So yeah, just let that cool off, brother, or just play the chart, man. If it wants to keep going here, 80.45, just keep on moving with it, man. Keep on trucking with it. Bank of America, you guys are in this. You guys are waiting on profit. Don't want to be critical, but you guys had a couple opportunities to take an average. 2 opportunities to take an average. 45.50, I think I talked about last week in class. Yeah, I mean, you guys entered here. I'm not going to be critical. I'm just trying to coach you guys, teach you a little bit. You entered here, you got time, that's fine. Sold through a huge support, you have time. I think when we talked, you guys were down 13, 14%, or maybe it's DMs with someone, no big deal. Sold down into here, this dipped down, because I had to check it. This dipped down to like 65, 68% down here. It reclaimed this huge support down here. Thursday, sold down into it. This was your golden entry if you ever wanted one, or your first entry, 45.5, Bank of America, mark on your chart, 45.5, 40, and 47. So if this holds, it did, you guys are fine. Now you're back, almost break even. I don't know what the contracts are worth. Somewhere around here, 47, same thing, guys. So I'm going to color this green just so you guys can see this on phones and all that shit. Make sure it's easy. You see what happens when we give up our green line, 47. What do? Sell, sell, sell. We get over, push, continuation. We get over, sellers give up, push. Break over, retest, another entry at 47. What happens? Big continuation up, okay? As of now, we got a big ass kill candle. We'll see what happens. But again, you guys, you cannot, I can't be critical because it's Nando and Luigi's play, but I mean, at some point, your August contract, you think you have a bunch of time, but here we are, July 20th. Went deep red, went almost break even, and now it might go deep red again. You got to start going, okay, you got to start buying the dips on where it bounces. You can't just go, I'm gonna let it ride, I'm gonna let it ride. Do you just let it ride 80% and then you go, well, I'm not going to take an average so I got time. Now it's got to go all the way back up to break even, and now you got theta working against you. So buy the dip when it makes sense, you guys, but it's got to make sense. If we reclaim back to entry, I'm not going to add back an entry because now you're doubling your position, and now both those entries, if it goes red, or excuse me, if it goes against you, both those entries are red. So it's got to make sense, you guys. Again, they're good traders. Trust their guidance and direction. I'm just giving you guys my advice on how I would trade this. Whoops, sorry about that. How I would trade this. But again, any sales through 47, you either cut and the play's not working for you, or you take an average where it makes sense. But don't get in too heavy. Only take an average if you started a partial position. Okay. Got a couple more requests rolling in. I'm going to write them in as I see them. Hopefully I can get to everybody. RDW, BLLL. Got a few ahead of you, but I will try and get to everybody. All right. 1 second here. Get caught up. All right. Apple. Everybody wants to break out. Everybody wants to break out. As of now, if this holds, your breakout is happening, which is good. It has to hold this red zone here. Resistance is red. Okay. You see what happens. One could argue I could draw it starting at like 211.7 and start at 212. One could argue that, but regardless, what the hell? Let me draw two zones here to show you guys to visualize. I like drawing zones because it kind of helps you guys visualize, what you're up against on the way up. So 3 zones overhead on the way up. But again, if we break out, retest 211.33, I'm treating that as support. So 30-minute time frame here. It is no accident, no surprise. What happens? We cannot break over this red zone. We push over, but when breakouts do not hold, even this one, breakouts do not hold, we sell, we sell, we sell. Breakouts do not hold, we sell. Don't hold, we sell. Okay? So it doesn't matter how bad you want this breakout to happen. You got to just wait for it to happen, then take your shot. You cannot take calls over and over and over, 211, 211.3, trying to get the breakout because they're just not happening until possibly now. We'll see. Okay. Some things to watch here for the person requesting this, a lot of other people. The daily 9 is stacked against it. The more we consolidate, the tighter this is. It's going to inch up. If we push up a little bit, this is going to stack up even tighter. So some things to watch here. Again, this zone here, this zone here. So this is our candle we're working with, what we're watching here. So any holds, same thing as before, you guys. Any holds this level here, again, we're opening over it. That's good for us. If this holds, buy your dip. Okay, your stop is somewhere a 30-cent down move under this 211 here on Apple. So you buy calls here. You can't let it dip a little bit, freak out, and get it buy up, and now you're like, shit, I'm in profits. To me, I see this zone here, and this is my stop. I got to be able to enter here and be able to stomach a little bit of red. You're not going to enter right here and it's instant green. That rarely happens. You guys can't just go, okay, 10% stop because I'm scared. You got to say, okay, I'm entering here. I'm trying to buy the dip. It looks good. Market looks good. We're pushing. I want to see if this level holds here. So as long as 211.33-ish holds, buy that dip. We push up. Where are we selling? You're not looking for 213. Where are we selling? Grab these wicks here, topside wicks. What do you, when you see this, this should tell you, wow, 30-minute candle pushed up to here, sellers close all the way down here. So sellers pushed all the way back here on that push up. Big selling pressure up here as we push into 212. Don't believe me? Happened again just the previous day. So again, You buy back up, you're cheering, you bought the dip, instant green, instant green. You're taking screenshots, you're putting them in the gains tab. Where are you selling? You're selling here Friday's high. If you discount, the pre-market move, Friday's high, double top, which would be triple top. You better be selling there. I say it's week after week. I don't care if it's 11%. That's not good enough for you. You have to sell where the chart tells you. And then you zoom out. We know how tricky 212 is, okay? We pushed up over 212 a little bit. What do we have working against us? Again, not sugarcoating it because it's on the way up. When I see stuff like this, that's tricky, tricky, tricky. But again, you sell here, we push up. You sell here, fine. So bare minimum, we're up to here. Where's your stop now? Somewhere down here. Your stop is not at break even. That's greedy trading. Break over, where's your stop? Your stop's here. Now go get that 213. And now you zoom out, you have a true runner going, okay, I'm up huge. I have a game plan. Where am I selling? Why am I selling 213? Easy. That's why you sell at 213, because it's going to get likely a little bit smacked. I'm not saying all the way retracement, but you're going to see some selling pressure. And again, if we break under 211, it's easy. Break under 211, selling pressure, selling pressure, selling pressure every single time. Like this is range trading at its finest. Okay, so lots of volume building in here, back and forth, back and forth. If the breakout comes, it's probably going to be a big move. It's probably going to be fast because all those sellers are just going to give up. So, all right. Oh, Maxwell, I'm behind in the chat. Sorry, you're up 25% on Bank of America. Yeah, man. Either follow Nando and Luigi, but you also have a better entry. So if you want to talk more in DMs, let me know. I can get you some more detailed levels on where to trade or where to sell at, because you're already 25% green in there. Like I said, I don't know if they're break even or a little bit red or green. I can't remember their entry, but you have a better entry for them. So for me, that 47. But we can talk this week in DM. Just send me a DM if you need some help. All right. Don't see more questions on Apple. Checking on LEU real quick. Marissa, I think I see your name correctly. You're still in here, so let's do it. LEU. I got some stuff in the way. 1 second. Centrus Energy. All right, never trade this one. That makes it fun. Looks like it's on a big move. Let's check where it's at. All-time high. Oh, I got a line down here. Man, someone had me chart it in March, February. Hope someone's banking on that. Shit. Wow, 157% move. Someone had me chart it because I don't know what this is. Is this all-time highs? Yeah, probably. Weekly. Okay, so Marissa, I think I'm saying it correctly. Are you in this one or want to be in it? Just want some perspective because we're all-time highs, and not gonna lie, we're getting pretty far extended. These are my moving averages down here, my green and yellow, and you can see we are pretty far from it. Doesn't mean we can't go more, but this thing is running, and when it runs like that, I want to be cautious on being long, but I don't just want to blindly short it. So you want to be in it. Okay, let's figure out a plan. Shares or options on this one? So I'm seeing a couple things here. Options or shares. All right, so let's see. Shares, I'll be honest, I don't like it right here because I don't buy all-time highs. Shares, I would wait for a good retracement, which would be, I mean, it's just been running somewhere in this cluster here, just because there's a lot of volume going to be kind of sitting here somewhere. Some of this red zone. So maybe 200, that round, sexy psychological number, 100, 200, 150, somewhere in there. Any dips into here, because a sell back or a dip back into 200 should trigger, excuse me, the algos, 200 round number. That is too bright and hard on the eyes. Yikes. For shares, for options, you want a breakout retest. Same story as before. I'm on the 30-minute chart now. So again, all-time highs, it's uncharted territory. No pun intended. But we need to see just it's just basic. We need to see a back test some levels. So Friday's high, Friday's consolidation zone, stuff like that. So I'll try and be a little bit quick with this one. So we see, what do we got here? 246.55 to that 246 zone. So basically push up, kind of stopped here. So if this was in real time, we'd go, okay, high day, drawing a line there. Push back up. What do we know about high day? Should probably trim, because what did it do? It retraced again, pushed up, triple top zone, high day. I know it peaked a little bit, ultimately closed over. So for me, the trading is simple on this one. I got to see a back test of this one, or if you want to be a little risky, the 9 EMA, this purple line, squiggly line. So you can just, if we kind of dip into it, if you like the risk, trade into that, buy the dip, and just keep riding it till, I guess, this all-time high again. But it's tricky. It's not like it's all-time high and it retraced for a couple days for us. So I would just set alert here, somewhere around this 246 zone here, and just see if this starts building a base in here. We can check back maybe in a couple of days or next week. Maybe this 242 to 246 kind of starts consolidating here. Big volume is going to start stacking here. You can just keep buying the dip, keep day trading it, to the all-time high zone. But if we consolidate into here and we sell through this, then this is our top range as we treat it, and we short underneath it. So don't want to be too brief with it, but there's just not a lot of information here to kind of get you going on it. Right. LEU at 70. Nice one, Norman. Heck yeah. All right, going through the chat. Crash, you're up, buddy. Celsius, right? Celsius, CELH. Let's take a look at this bad boy. Ooh, daily 9 and 20 smackdown. Let's see if that makes sense on a larger time frame, brother. Zoom out just a little bit. I know I've charted this, but not in a while. Let's just go to the daily. Let's see where we're at. Got something down there from we charted. So lower range breakout like that. Kind of a little bit of a rounding top, stalling a little bit these moving averages. So let's see why and where we're stalling out, if that makes sense here. Yeah, kind of that 46.3. I'm just going to draw a range just for speed of class. So I'm looking here on the right side, and I hover over and I draw it here, and I say, okay, we're stopping at the bottom, this kind of cluster here where my mouse is moving. And now when I draw the upper range here, I'm going to say, okay, I'm looking to the push here, and I'm literally just drawing it left slowly, the bottom of this here. So on the bottom side, it's support. So that's on mine here, what I would be on, or at least how I trade. So push up consolidation at the time, if we're going back a year from now, consolidation breakout, this would be green, coming back into support, bouncing, coming into it, sell through, and now it's a battle back. We sold through this range, and what did we do? Went down this lower range here. I charted this for somebody August, September last year, or maybe we charted it not too long ago. Kind of this low range here. Again, same thing, consolidation, smackdown, breakout. Now kind of a little bit of a rounding top here. Doesn't mean we've got to be super bearish. It just means, are we coming into support? Can we buy the dip? Doesn't make sense. Looking here. I want to grab here. So I'm looking kind of this little cluster here from August a year ago, and I'm looking present day, push up, kind of stalled out here, consolidation, breakout. And now I'm seeing these bottom side wicks here, so hang with me. I'm gonna zoom in now. Still on the daily, still watching here. Yep. All right, let's zoom in. Let's see if our lines make sense, how to play this. I think you messaged me. You missed the move on this, Crash, or you're wanting to get in this? I can't remember. I remember seeing your message, but couple things, kind of the middle of the range here for me for a day trade and even for a swing. So don't love it either way, if I'm being honest. So what I'm seeing here is TJ Maxx, you just missed Apple. If I got time, we'll go back over it. Have shares long term, looking for day trade. Yep. So for me, brother, 44.8 breakout retest, because I'm kind of treating this as kind of red, sort of red, upper range in the red, lower range in the green. That's just kind of how I see this. So I look for multiple bounces in my trading plan every day. So I'm seeing bounces kind of this lower range, bounce, bounce, bounce. I'm seeing, stall and then a breakout. So we'll treat that as support. When it breaks over, we sell under, we see selling pressure, sell under, we see selling pressure. Can't really count this one. I mean, you can, but Friday was basically just a battle consolidation. So for me, we could do this, a little bit of risk, but it's warranted here. You can sneak in a dip on this here. So what I would do, I think this one would make sense too for at least my trading style. 4453. So we kind of break that. There's some little bit of risk here just because kind of a little bit of a chop zone here, a little bit of a chop zone here and kind of consolidation. But if you can buy the dip here, that's a 30-cent move. That can, if they have like a 44.5 strike or 45, that can pay you. You just gotta be mindful because you got these clusters here of candles. You got a candle push up and a stall out here. You got that stall out here. You got some bottom side candles here, but I think a breakout retest of this is doable. Definitely want to be trimming here because we see that 4.8 reaction. When we do not break over, we see the sell reaction over it. If we break out over, if markets are bullish, that's good. Trim some if you got a little bit larger port and can afford it. Break out over this, or if you're late to the party, anybody watching this, so a 4.8 push. Dutch Bros, yeah, Kelly, good to have you in here. I'll definitely get down the list if we got time. Breakout over this, push, cheer that you caught the bottom here. They sold a bunch here, but what do we have? Daily 9, daily 20, and Friday's high day. You better be selling up here. No questions asked. Smack down there. Why is it smack down there? You see that selling pressure kick in. All these candles, when it fails here on the bottom side, sell pressure, selling pressure. So any push up there, got to sell. We have 2 moving averages and a high of day, previous high day stacked. Definitely. We break this 4453, might be in dip mode with some puts, but I'm not looking for stuff down here quite yet. As a first target, as I always say, a breakdown under that, get these clusters down here for a target because that makes sense with this volume, this price action here. Bottom side wicks, that means buyers kicking in. Bottom side wick, buyers kicking in. Bottom side candles or lower end candles, buyers kicking in. Buyers. So again, you take puts. I'm just saying in general for anyone watching, you don't say, okay, I'm going down to here, Friday's low. You look and go, okay, where do we bounce first? Boom, target 1. Now you can start looking maybe this wick, maybe this, and then final target down here. So it's a range, it's tight, but very, very tradable. Nice setup, man. Nice setup. Very, very tradable. But again, don't want to be long and don't want to be chasing puts down here. Got to kind of get that sniper entry on some puts there. Or excuse me, sniper entry on your calls. Sorry. Just reading some notes here. Coca-Cola. Checking the chat again. Nick, you're still in here. Appreciate you sticking around. Love this one. 72.55. Oh, I missed that sell. Damn. Oh well, can't catch them all. Never delete your lines on your charts, guys, because they'll come back and it does all the work for you. Nick, something I would be watching here. If we come into it, support zone here for sure. Would not be chasing puts down here. Looking for an entry. All right. There's a little bit, we got 755 and we got 7, so basically $1 range here, but one could argue I can definitely get a couple more levels in here. So especially these slower movers, I don't like to chart a ton because you zoom out or you chart in the 1 hour and then you zoom in, you're like, I got a line every 10 cents. It's like, yeah, you kind of need to know them, but you don't need a line to clutter things up. So watching, yeah, this big bounce here. This one's a good line here. Basically 70 to 70, 10. We kind of see that bounce reaction here, Nick, if you're still watching. I'll zoom in for you here just a second. But so we kind of see, as I always say, I like to trade, you know, making lower lows, making a higher low. Okay, we stop kind of here. Does that level matter? We come back in, we kind of come in, we peter out a little bit and then break over. We come back into it and we kind of stall out before a sell off. So again, you guys, that's my bread and butter of charting. I find these swing highs, swing lows, where it makes sense, boom, slap a line. Okay, so a zoomed in look now. What I would be looking at, pretty low volume here, after hours and morning session tomorrow. So can't really trust these candles, but this is what I like here. This is a good one. Raphael, you still in here, man? Yeah, you are. Look at this one, man. I know you like train KO. Drawing modes. Why do they keep disappearing on me? Keep moving. There we go. Green dashed line is my daily 20. It stopped there. No coincidence. That's going to be stacked right here, you guys. If this 70 to 70.10 pocket holds, we got to buy that dip. We buy that dip at 70.10. Why do we do that? What do we get? We get a bounce there. We're looking for, so when I say buy the dip, hypothetically, you buy the dip like this, we bounce up, boom, you catch a nice move on it. Okay. So I would love that if we can catch a move there, off this 70, basically if 70 holds, because again, you got to be able to stomach a little bit of risk. Look at that big round number at 70, that bounce there on that wick there on this 30-minute. Again, don't get greedy. Don't look for 55 right away. Get the push up to this 35. It's that big cluster there. Okay. Always play the chart. You guys see my trading style. I don't care if target one is 12%. That's how it is. You just take your money if you can get it. It's up to you guys to take the money if you want it. So again, if I were to buy that dip, I'd definitely be looking at 73.5, 70.55. If you guys want to take screenshots or write these levels down. Any break under 70, and we're, let's see, let me zoom in on a smaller time frame real quick. Break under, yeah, we actually got a close. I want to make sure it wasn't kind of like a false candle after hours. So I'm now on the 50-minute, you guys. So if we sell through 70, you can take puts, but you know, have a little bit of caution because you don't have too far to go. I mean, it's not bad. It's a 20-cent sell down to Friday's close, which also lines up with this cluster here. And lo and behold, coming down here, sneaking down here is our daily 9 moving average. So a little bit of a range. So for me, this is kind of our trigger zone. I might actually, I might put that on the watch list tomorrow for you guys actually, but you know, you're getting the charting in real time. So we're over as of now. So at or below, let's see if that triggers and comes down into that. But top range, bottom range, middle, that's how I'd play that. So, but again, as the member mentioned, earnings on Tuesday. So for me, get your money, get in and get out tomorrow, hands off for earnings on Tuesday pre-market. Because if you swing after tomorrow, it's before market opens. You're in calls, we rock it up, you're happy. You're in calls, we sell through, you're going to be sad. You got to wait, you know, for that market to open. So nice chart though. Nice chart. Red one, I think I'm saying the name correctly, probably butchering it. RDW, let's take a look at it. Red wire, don't think I've heard of this one. It's all right though, makes it fun to chart. Upside potential. All right, let's look at it. All right, if you're not in already, we need to see, what's easier here, lines or zones. Let's get some lines here. So again, my bread and butter, breakout, retest, breakout, retest. So breakout, retest here. I'm on the daily. I'll zoom in for you 1 second. just kind of showing you guys my game plan. Push up, stalled out, breakout over. Sold through it. What happens? Sell, 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 bounce back up, break over, push up 3 days ago, rejection. Okay. So we closed over 19. Gotta love that. Yep, basically 20 flat. That's a good zone for us. Let's pull the game plan now. What do we have working for us? Breakout, retest, ride the wave, ride the momentum. You're in a 21 call. Good strike. August 15th, good expiration. Love it. What day or what price did you get in at? Let me know on the chart or the day. I can kind of tell you, did you buy Friday? You're kind of break even, or did you buy down here? Let me know in the chat. I'll wait for you since I have your attention. It kind of makes it easier, like, hey, you should be selling up here, or hey, you just bought here, look for this. Yeah, I like this. Push up, higher highs, retest some previous highs. Got in last Monday at 15, like a bottom dip. Oh, wow. Okay, you're in here. So if you haven't trimmed yet, I know you have an August contract. I'll tell you this, not just because it's you, but it's anybody. Anything can happen. So just word of advice, if we push up here and we start stalling out, and I don't know what percent you're up, and we come back into here, you don't sell here, and we come back into here, and you don't sell, we come back into here, you don't sell, you're gonna go, oh, shit. I just gave up a $2 move on the stock and a huge percent. Why didn't I sell? And so you're gonna start thinking, it's gonna bounce back. But if it doesn't bounce back, and now you're trickling in and trickling, now you're back at break even. So point of my story is, for anybody watching, not just them, but sell up here. Chart absolutely on the daily says sell into 20. So if we push it up into this tomorrow, definitely sell. If you're in 10 contracts, for me, how I trade, I would legit sell like 7 if you have not sold already. If you only got a couple, if you only got 3, I would sell like 2, hold a runner. Breakout, retest, or a daily close over, boom. I know I'm drawing through the after hour session, but just for charting purposes, we break and hold 20. Let's just say you're up, I don't know, you got to be up huge by now. Let's just say you're up 100%. You're up right here at 100%. You trimmed, breakout over. Where's your stop loss? 100%, no questions asked. If it comes back, boom. Your runner is at 100%. You can't be mad at that. But the worst thing you can do is start watching a double, triple top form here on the daily. It's not just a random chart or line here that we drew just now. The daily chart says every time it gets to 20, it has trouble. So definitely would be trimming up here for sure. But again, any breakout retests, ride that wave, ride that momentum. But again, if we start, stalling here, come back into 19, you're like, oh, why didn't I sell at 20? We sell through 19, you're like, why didn't I sell at 19 or 20? You're going to be hurting. So for anyone watching, do not be greedy, because I know there's people in here who have seen a big trade, whether it's scalping SPX or big swings. You just think it's going more. Reddit's hyping it up, Twitter's hyping it up, whatever it is. And suddenly you're up 60, now you're up 30. It's like, man, 60% is hard to make in this market. Take it, you guys. Do not be greedy. But very nice chart, though. Very nice chart. All right. I think I'm almost caught up. Who wanted BULL? Are you still in here? Yep. BULL. And then I think Kelly's up with, what did she want? Dutch Bros, I think. Yeah. Cool. BULL. It's been running. It's got the hype, that's for sure. Probably all-time highs. Or wait, no. This is the IPO one. Oh shit. All right. All right. What are we gonna do here? Let's get a game plan. How are we gonna trade this? Again, you may not like what I have to say, but I'm gonna say it. When I see it pushed up like this, big level here, breakout, nice breakout, fully engulfing there. All dips at 16, buy all dips at 16. When that engulfs that, all that volume there, definitely. On the way up, how are we going to trade this? Big move. Big move on Friday. All right. daily chart. About to zoom in, get you guys a game plan. Are you guys, I can't remember. I know Nando, I think he's in shares. Is he in leaps too? Guys, let me know in the chat if you want. But all right, a zoomed in look here, what we have working for us. Maybe 2 zoomed in. There we go. Ah, shit. We sold back under 16. Damn. All right. That's all right, though. That's all right. Game plan's the same. Break and retest to 16, you guys. Doesn't get any easier than that. It's going to be that little cluster there. It's a round number. Okay. Where do we sell? Don't have much information up here. I mean, we have some recent information, but it's a newer IPO. Definitely trim all the way up on the way to 16 and 1768. If you're not in it, 16 fails. I got to look for this cluster here, somewhere down 15. This little cluster here to buy the dip. If you don't want to buy puts, that's fine. So break a 16. You could take puts and trim down into 15, sell all and flip bullish at 15 and try and get your calls on the way up, or profit on the way up, that is. But this 16 has to hold. We checked down the daily. I got excited. I thought we were well over it, but maybe this isn't such a bad thing. So if we kind of trickling over this, boom, we slam into that. 15-minute, 30-minute candle closes over, buy that dip. But again, if 16 fails, we kind of know, or we can know, a little bit of retracement's fine. A little bit of a sell down into that could be warranted. So again, newer IPO, not super new, but not a ton of information up here quite yet. But again, definitely buy that dip. Definitely buy that dip. Oh shoot, I'm sorry, Errol. What you got here? BMNR. And then I think I got Dutch Bros. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Need to reread that. Oops. Don't know what it is. Let's trade it. Let's chart it. Let's see. 1 moving average is stacked right here. Errol, you in this one already? Or want to be? Ooh, a newer IPO. I don't know what this is. How do you guys find this stuff? Or if it's on like search forums or what, but definite support, definite resistance, even though it's a new IPO. Let's start on the daily. I'll zoom in for you. Shares on Friday. All right. Hopefully you bought the dips somewhere around 41. So basically just looking, quick charting here, guys. Like I said, it was, I don't know if it's an IPO or got news or whatever it was. I shouldn't call it IPO, I'm sorry. But anyways, I'm just looking at this big move here. And every time these wicks close here and these candles body closing there, and then to the top side, same thing. How are they closing? Where are they closing? And now a zoomed in look here. So so where are we failing when we push up? 40, 49-ish kind of zone up here. A little bit of a wide range to draw a zone, but just so you can visualize it. Really got to get this breakout over. Really 50. 50 is kind of like a nice round psychological number, halfway to 100. Errol, any break over that? You mentioned you're in shares, so that's good for generally speaking, no expiration time. But clear and obvious consolidation, which is not a bad thing. You're not winning or losing huge, but good spot down here to accumulate shares. Doesn't mean go all in, full port, and you don't have average, you can't buy options or anything else, but just nibble down here for sure. First entry down here, not a bad move, not a bad move at all. Got a moving average down here and a moving average overhead. So what's going to happen if you get the breakout, or what you want the breakout to happen, that is, this daily 9, it's stair stepping because it calculates the close every single day. So best case scenario, breakout over, a little bit of consolidation, and then breakout over, and then a nice trend, because this daily 9 is going to curl under this price action here. And now every dip into that moving average is now a form of support. And then on the way up, you watch, your targets on the way up. But really, that break over 50, I think sellers, short sellers, whatever you want to call it, people that want to keep this thing down, people that are bearish, I think they'll give up because they're breaking over this zone. And then I would for sure, I would draw something like this and then color it green just for speed of class, just pretend it's green. And then I would use this, as your last chance support. So as long as this break and holds, keep riding that wave. And then obviously big picture chart in the 4-hour, you can see we break out over here, what happens? Big moves can happen. I don't know if this was news or an earnings report or whatever, but big moves, go get that 60, go get that 70. Doesn't mean in like a week, but long term, you're in shares. I mean, this is what you want. Consolidation breakout, and then you just slowly just ride that wave. Everyone's chasing up here, but what'd you do? You dollar cost averaged in down here. Definitely use this as a floor. So any breakouts over, we use this, sprinkling a little more, but very, there's not a lot of price action recent right here. I mean, we got, I guess, a month and a half, but any holds over that thing is on. All right. I don't think I skipped anybody else, at least not on purpose. Dutch Bros, and I see hymns trickled in there. Let's do it. Let's see, Kelly. Kelly, are you shares? Ooh, look at this. Shares options, or just looking for trading setups? Oh man, we got us a Dirty River trend line right here, guys. Oh, he'd be so proud if we drew this. We took this trade and it broke out. Look at that. Nice. I don't know. Am I making names up here? Is this like a down channel, downward channel, whatever it is? Lower lows, lower highs. But now, so what it's doing, this is how you catch a trend reversal. Again, it's if you're getting in a resistance, it's a guess. This goes for anybody, not just Kelly, but basically, so lower highs, meaning a high and a lower high. The high of the day, lower high, high of the day, lower high, lower, lower, lower. Okay. But now what do we have? We have a lower high down here. And this day, these days down here, it did not print a lower high. It pushed up against the previous lower high. So this is potentially a trend break and a daily 9 moving average. Man, this is a nice setup potential if this thing wants to go. Where's Rev at? He's not in the Discord anymore. He would love this. Yeah, this is a killer setup. Let's see what we got here. Where are we bouncing and why? Yep. Ah, man. What the hell, Thinkorswim? Why you do that to me? Drawing. There we go. On the way up, definitely got some bottom side wicks to watch for here. Middle range. Yep. All right. Thick line here. This is what I would look for, Kelly, if I were. Let's see here. Option number one, let me zoom in. So this is the 4-hour chart here, guys. Kind of want to visualize what I'm looking for. So basically all last week's top zone cluster, this 6446. Zoomed in, look now. What I would do, breakout retest for sure. I know it sounds like broken record, but it's just such easy trading. You break over. This is resistance as of now. Breakout retest is flipping support. With caution, if we kind of trickle in here, buy that dip. Again, you're not looking up here. You're looking at bare minimum, Friday's high. And then, I guess even before that, okay, you get in, you trim here, target one. You got to look at this price action, this price action, this price action, break over all that. Then we go get this move here. But what I do like is bare minimum, break this, maybe the breakout doesn't come, we kind of trickle in here, fake everybody out for a day. What's going to happen is this daily 9 is now going to curl under. As long as price action over it, this is curling under. And a moving average is a form of support once underneath this. So as long as that holds underneath this, can't be bearish right here at 64.46. I really like that setup a lot here. But again, as we push into this trend line here. It kind of varies, depending on what time frame you're on, but basically any push, Kelly, up to the 65.7. I don't know if you're a swing trader or day trader, but a push up to that. If you don't have think or swim, whatever brokerage you're on, go the daily chart and find out where that daily 20 is at, because that's going to be creeping overhead somewhere over here, resistance. And if it's stacked here, that's going to get the smack down, especially if it's kind of if it's a big move up and then we kind of stall out here, we kind of just kind of push up low volume, that's probably going to hit a bunch of volume stacked there waiting for us up there. But if we were to gap up and push up hard with volume, that's a different story. But if we kind of use all the juice down here on a push up, or maybe we get halfway and we push up on Tuesday, that's kind of the spot to watch. Definitely a spot to watch there for sure. But nice chart, nice curling moving average underneath. Definitely for sure. Norvin, I'll get to if I got time. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get through everybody's. I don't want to skip anybody. There was one more here. I think it was Hems, right? Yep. I think I got at least one request from everybody. Sorry, I'm just trying to read the chat here. Turco, Hymns. All right, let's do it. Sorry, I was trying to look to see who requested so I can chat with you guys about it. I can unmute mics, but I know Norvin has a lot to say. We love Norvin, but can't unmute the mics right now. Ooh, man. So sell, was that earnings or just a kill candle? I wonder if they got some news, but look at this. Clear as day. Maybe not, maybe I spoke too soon, but you get the point. Some higher lows and some higher highs in this nice little range we got pushing up here. Okay, so support and resistance can be trend lines, they can be moving averages, and they can be horizontal lines. So now we're building a plan. Let's get some horizontal lines in here, because there's some obvious ones that stand out to me big time here. Yep. I don't know chart pattern. Is this a rising wedge, guys? You decide, you tell me. I don't know. But what I see here, it's decision time this week for Hims. Decision time, Turco. Or yeah, Turco, Turco. So bottom side, support here at basically 51.18, if you want to be a little more exact. And now last couple of weeks, we push into it. Like I always say, you guys trade the chart, not the percent, not your heart. Push up, rejection. Push up, rejection. Sell through it, continuation. Push up, little continuation. Thursday, sell through. Friday, never made it. So you already know what I'm going to say. Moving average is stacked underneath here, right at 50. Got to buy that dip at 50, that round psychological number. Round psychological number. Buy that dip there. Okay. One more thing to look at. So again, I'm not big on chart patterns, but if this is a rising wedge, ignore those lines for a second. What usually happens, if this is the top of our wedge here, push up, breakout, or push up knife is going to happen pretty soon this week. So again, resistance, support, price gets tight, something has to happen by Thursday or Friday. Breakout over, a sell down. So kind of a nice chart in the way that you're going to get your answer this week, probably. I don't know if it's the answer you want this week, but just something to watch here. So again, you guys, anybody might see this chart and like this. I don't know this name, but I like this dip buy at 50. Look at that bounce. Look at that bounce at 50 moving average. Look at that bounce at 50 moving average. Look at the pushover, hold 50. So any opens at 50, buy that dip, because you want to see a sell into 50, in a move like this? Does it happen all the way or all the way up? I don't know, but that's what you want to see. You say, okay, if I buy the dip here, what am I looking for? You're looking for stuff like this, big bounce up, nice bounce up. Okay, hit that dip at 50. All this price action here to sell. You know, you can look at any candle cluster on the way up, get into this 15, not where we want to be holding calls a full position. Maybe you got leaps, you can trim some, keep holding, that's fine. But anything short dated, absolutely, I'm not holding calls up here because I see how much trouble it has when it hits that zone there. Can it break out? That's fine. But what do? You trim and hold a true runner. One or two, you trim one more, then you hold for that big breakout up here. But if you see that, you're up huge and you're greedy, you think the breakout's happening, comes back down, now you're back to break even. Then what happens Tuesday, we sell through that support line I talked about. Now you're red, plus 60 to break even to down 40. That's a shit trade. Don't be that trader, just saying in general. Very, very nice chart here. Decision time this week for sure. All right, CRCL, and then our wrap up. If you guys want to jet out, you can. I appreciate you being here, but CRCL, if you joined late, I'll do SPY and QQQ and I'm done. But all right, let's see what we got here. Norvin, too many, man. We're gonna talk in DMs. Otherwise, you're gonna be here all night, brother. Love you, man, but there's so many. 6:06. We'll see what time it is when we're done, man. Let's see. Breakout retest. 220, I think, is the mark. That's the money spot, I think. Might be a little bit of a zone or a range, but so I'm looking at price action there, price action here. Big old bounce there, and where we kind of stalled out after hours there. Got to buy that dip there. Let's see here, and I will zoom in as always. Just kind of build a large game plan as well. So 1 hour chart here. 2 moving averages underneath this, a little far below, 20, 26 bucks below, whatever it is. Lots of support in here to play with. So you zoomed in, look now, 15-minute time frame. What happens when we sell through 230? Selling pressure. What happens when we hold 225? A little bit of a bounce there. Big bounce. Breakout, huge move. Sellers giving up. So when we're over something, it is support. You treat it as support. First and foremost, let me zoom in just a little more. There we go. First and foremost, try and buy the dip there. Try and buy this dip. Sell at these wicks, sell at 230. So we know what happens when 230 fails. Under 224, basically under this cluster here. We're not just taking puts just because. What are we doing? We're taking puts because we just gave out Friday's low. We gave out Friday's low, what's probably going to happen? Probably down to 220. So if this fails tomorrow, break under. Because to me, this is kind of no man's land. As you come into it, your first buys should be calls because you're coming into this cluster here of support that didn't break. But basically under, maybe it's 223 more likely. Under that, we're probably going to go visit this low here. But again, don't be blind holding puts when you see a big old bounce like that just 2 days ago. So very nice chart. Very tradable chart. You guys are doing a lot of good setups tonight. I like it. If this move holds again, or option number 2 or 3, any breakout over 230. Can definitely see that move there. All right, Norvin, SBET, and then we are done. Well, after I wrap up, but this better be tradable, man. I'm doing 2 requests from you. This better be tradable. What do we got here? Let's see here. All right. I can see this. Yeah, I can argue that. Is it 30? Where are we buying our dip at? 27.3. Look at that wick there from July 14th. Yep. I know I give you a lot of shit, Norman. I actually like this setup. All right. Where was I looking? Top side wick there. So I grabbed that. Lines up with that there. Lines up with this here. Lines up with that. Okay. Top side wick there. Close there. Close there. My charting, I try and make it as simple as possible. Cluster there. Cluster there. All right. Now we zoom in and build a trade plan. Daily 9 is creeping up. So if it opens in the middle, man, middle, comma, man, sorry, bad punctuation. If it opens in the middle, take your calls, but the risk reward is not amazing. You know, you got reward to the upside, but you see if it fails to break over, what happens. So 30, that's a $1.10 move. That's a good move. So if we kind of open this cluster here, buy your dip, definitely trim here, but break out over. Or if we gap up, kind of sort of even a little better for me. I would love a push up and a boom, right at open, near open, buy that dip. What do we want to happen if we buy that dip? We want to bounce and price action like this, the back half of that day. We want to bounce and price action like that. Any sells under, it's obvious. We know it's probably going to happen. Something like that. Do we get all the way down there? I don't know. But any trickles in here, this is like a no swing zone, just a day trade only zone for me. But any buy the dips down here, what do we got? 2 moving averages coming up. Here's the 20, a little bit farther below, but moving averages are stacked. So any consolidation here, man, is not a bad thing. I don't know if it's liquid for options or if it's just a share play, but 2 moving averages and a big consolidation zone there, and then it breaks out over and you got 2 moving averages underneath you. That's ideal. That's what you want to see. Not a bad chart, man. If you take a trade, let me know. Send me a DM, because that's the best thing about these classes, you guys, is hey, I took a trade on my own, or hey, I took something suggested. Here's my profits. That's what we love. All right, guys, recap. You guys can jet out or you can stick around if you joined in late, but here's how I'd play SPY. I'm not going to say this week because market moved too quick. This is my game plan for tomorrow. Man, I lose my voice. 628 to 628.10, this green zone here. I know I got a little bit of a gap. I'm just sticking with what I had earlier. I guess I just for visuals, you guys see this. This is what we want to hold this week for many reasons. So if we gap up here and we come into it, what do we have? We have an open gap. It's okay if we dip into it, but we want this, when we fill the gap, we want that to hold. If this doesn't hold, what happens? We probably sell through, okay? So my game plan tomorrow is kind of in the back of my head, I'm saying, okay, do we fill this gap? It's not very big. Do we fill it? But first of all, if we kind of trickle in here real close, my sentiment is a fake kill candle down, everybody chases puts, and they buy it back up. And we reclaim this, and then we go push, and we test this today, or test that during the day. That's my first plan of attack. So does it mean we'll get the gap filled? Maybe we come into 628, 628.10, and we bounce it, and this gap stays open for a day or a week. I don't know. But for me, that's my game plan. Does that make sense to everybody? Why, if we hold this 628, we're holding this midday, which was resistance, but on the top side, as we know, it is now support. So I'm saying if we hold that, we should, doesn't mean we have to, we'll probably revisit this zone here. Trim heavy. If you're a scalper, you better be, for me, I'm probably going to take most. If I scalp this on a 0 DT, I don't take those. I would sell those. I look to be short there, possibly, depending on the price action, how it kind of trickles in there. Depending on how we trickle into that zone there. So again, because we see we fail to break over 628.65, hard sell, hard continuation down. And that's not such a bad thing. If we buy this dip here, we bank on calls, and River's like, hey, double top, opening range is kind of set. I'm going to take a short here with a stop over a new daily high, just hypothetically, and then we catch puts on the way down. Well, what do? We just set a range for the day. That's not a bad thing, especially for a Monday. Very, very likely that it could happen. So again, but any push over here, and we're probably going to go test these highs again. Maybe we make it all the way up. Maybe we get halfway. I don't know. Are you worried about SPY with Tesla earnings? I would, Maxwell, be more worried about QQQ. So the S&P 500 is the 500 biggest companies. It's a mixed bag. It's banks, it's Tesla, it's I don't know, maybe Starbucks in there. I don't know. It's a lot of names. It's banks, it's financials, it's clothing brands. QQQ, if you look at QQQ biggest holdings, it's just tech. Apple, Tesla, Nvidia, AMD, Amazon, Google, Microsoft. If you want to take a hedge or a bet on Tesla earnings, you play, again, here's my disclaimer, it's called TSLL. If Tesla moves up, TSL moves up. If Tesla moves down, TSL moves down, and it's way, way, way cheaper. Do not play Tesla earnings if you cannot afford a reasonable strike. Actually, you should just trade this. This will pay huge. This is a secret, you guys. TSLL. Or play QQQ. Those are Qs. Those are bad Qs. SPY, it'll move a little bit on Tesla, but not as much as QQQ and TSLL. Definitely. Good question, though. But yeah, because not everything has like a leverage position, like I don't think Microsoft does or something like that. But TSLL, play that for Tesla. Actually might do it as well, kind of depending on where is Tesla? Is Tesla over 330? What the hell? Drawing mode. Sorry. 230. Oh, baby. Tesla's moving. Yep. Sorry, 230. 239 to 230. No puts for me until we come up to a big zone. QQQ. Same thing, you guys. Zoomed in, look here. That's what I'm watching. So any dips into 56182. And do we fill this gap? Sorry, do we fill this gap? Or do we just kind of hold 562, 561.82 and push up? So maybe we gap fill. Even better, can buy that dip at 56127. But as of now, we're pushing pretty good. So, you know, all-time highs, trade with caution. To be very blunt, if we kind of push up and kind of, I start seeing topside wicks, maybe we take a short, you know, but be cautious. You know, maybe we set a new all-time high, that's fine, but just be careful. You don't want to be the guy that buys the first share at 564 and then we sell down. Then you're holding, whether it's one share or 100, you're like, well, I'm in at 564, I'm at the top. So don't want to do that. With that, you guys, I got to wrap. It is 6:17 my time. I appreciate y'all sticking around. Everybody in here, all the regulars, all the new names. Appreciate you. Got any more questions? Send me a DM, you guys. DMs are always open. I'll try and set a watch list tomorrow as well. Some things I'm watching. I haven't had a chance to look at the charts again. But hope you guys have a good rest of your evening. Nick, appreciate it, man. Appreciate you being here. Norvin, Maxwell, Laro, everybody, Errol, all the regulars, Crashmas. Appreciate it, man. Catch you guys tomorrow.